Hi, I'm Tricia Horton, and I'm going to talk to you about my story. It all starts when I was 3 years old, and I was teaching my imaginary friends in English, obviously, because I'm from the United States, but this is the way I would play. And I always played really well when I was little. I could entertain myself, I didn't need anybody, and I had a good imagination. So I was teaching my imaginary friends or my stuffed animals just anything. And I always had a bad kid. And that bad kid was always named Tommy. I don't know why, it just was. So later on, I didn't want to be a teacher. I wanted to be a dancer. I loved dancing. I just could feel the energy in my soul. And my dance teacher noticed how much I loved it, and she asked me if I could help her assist with her classes. So I did that. It was one of my first jobs. I was paid, and I was paid as an assistant dance teacher. This went on for, I guess, about 4 years. I also had a grocery store job, and this helped me have interpersonal skills to be able to work with the public. And people would actually wait in line to be checked out by me because I was friendly, and they were happy when they were spending their money and talking to a cashier who had a friendly face. So that was a good experience, just getting those interpersonal public speaking kind of community speaking skills. So I wanted to become a famous dancer when I went to university. And my dad said, that's all fine and good. That's fine. But I think it would be a really good idea if you had a plan B. So that's what I did. I decided to go to college, go to university, and do my core studies. I didn't get a major in the beginning because they permitted freshman students to do that, just to do the core studies and then decide on their major the following year. So that's what I did. And in the end, I didn't want to become a dancer because I took dance classes my first year of college, and I decided that wasn't for me. And I'm so glad that I listened to my dad. So I opted for language studying. I had studied Spanish in high school, and I thought, I've always wanted to see Europe. I've always wanted to learn about culture. I think I'm gonna continue with my Spanish studies. So I did. And I kind of like had language studies and business studies at the same time because I thought that they could really complement each other. So I did Spanish, and then I decided, okay, I need more languages. I love languages. They're so interesting, and to be able to maybe one day communicate with others in another language would be really, really cool. So I started French, and then I wanted more, so I started Italian and German. So I actually had at one time in university 4 different languages going on at the same time. And I kind of got a little confused sometimes when answering a question because I would say si, oh yeah, or just mix up the answers. So when I finished university, my idea was to come live in Spain. That's where I live today, and use my skills. So I really didn't want to teach. I wanted to be in corporate businesses. I wanted to interpret, to translate, that kind of thing. So I got to Spain, and that was my idea, to work for corporate, but that didn't happen because I needed to find a job to be able to stay in the country. And it had to be a job that a Spanish person could not do. So that was teaching. I started teaching in academies and learned how to teach because I didn't study at college how to educate in my own language. So it was a lot of looking at grammar books and learning for myself why, you know, that was interesting. I enjoyed it, but it was okay. I wasn't that confident yet. And the years started to go by and I changed academies. And then I got a job teaching just a random company. The academy had like a contract and the boss sent me to this company. So then I started learning about how to teach in business English. And it was nice to have not only children, but also corporate business people who really needed me and they felt comfortable when they were speaking to me. So time went by and I needed more. So I went back to school and I got my master's degree in teaching English. So that was in Spain. So I did that in a different country. So that was a good experience. And I started teaching in private schools. I started teaching in public schools. I took this state exam. I had a really good connection with my students. They loved me. They loved the way that I expressed myself and they could understand me. And I gave them examples and they compared me to their other teachers saying, "Teacher, our other teachers don't do that." And I said, "You're kidding me." And little by little, I started to observe how other teachers were. Some were fantastic and some just were teaching to make a salary and get by. So there are two types of teachers, one with the vocation and one who wants to get by. Obviously, the students are very aware of this. And it felt good to find other teachers that were like me. So then I decided I needed more than that. And I decided to start my own company. And I started doing translating. I started teaching at corporate offices. And also on the side, I was doing private classes at home. So I was able to use all of the teaching skills that I had acquired over the years and start training the workers in negotiations, in problem solving, in motivation, my specialty, and giving them confidence. I also have been helping companies recruit their candidates by evaluating in an oral conversation with the potential people that will work in the company. And I have to, because I still do this, assess their level. And I can assess somebody's level in 7 minutes. That's how much experience I have had over the years in teaching. And then something really bad happened that was so unexpected for everybody. And that was COVID. I had gotten everything. I had gotten my corporate job teaching and helping and motivating and recruiting and translating and interpreting. And then we were isolated at home. And the first day sitting on my couch, I sat in silence and I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? This is my job and I love it. And now it's been taken from me from COVID. People started to lose their jobs in the company. I lost the contract. However, I was doing freelance for them. So that was okay, but it wasn't enough. So I decided to use my old Skype account and set up online classes with my students. And I kept about 60% of my clientele. Others did not see the vision. Others did not see the importance of English in their children's lives. But those 60% are amazing people because not only did they help me survive, but they also helped me think outside of the box. So that was hard. And I had to research how many students I could have at the same time on Skype. I didn't know any of this. I used an old account that I had created many years ago and it worked. And then other companies started creating online platforms that you could use, but I was just using my Skype. I hadn't discovered Instagram yet. This came later. I was a late bloomer with the Instagram thing. I decided, because I had had a hobby at a young age, to write novels. I wrote novels. I wrote 2 complete novels, and I had never published them. So that's what I did during isolation. I decided to look online to see how I could publish my 2 novels, and that's what I did. And my main goal was to just share with my mom and dad my creation from my imagination. So this was just for my parents and family, to show them what I had created. And now some of my students have read my novels and used them for their English. And I've even had a conversation club in my classes focused on these novels. And it was amazing because I had observation questions, comprehension questions, and then grammar and vocabulary. And it worked really, really well. So that was fun. And now I continue selling these books on Amazon. I was really afraid to do that, to publish and to kind of like have that feeling of maybe people would judge me. And then this inside inner flame came out and said, Tricia, just do it. Do it for yourself. Don't think about anybody else. So I did that. I listened to my insides and I shared my creativity with other people. When I got my physical book, both of them actually, both my physical books in my hands, it was like I ticked off something that I had had on my bucket list. That was something that I did for myself. And I was like, yes, I did it. So then I found Instagram and I thought, oh my gosh, look, all these teachers are teaching. Wow, this has to be so easy. So I started filming myself. Oh my gosh, it was so hard. I felt like a deer looking in the headlights. I would freeze. You can see some of my old videos and the energy is not there. I was petrified. And then little by little, I continued trying. I continued trying to get followers. I continued trying to create an online business. And it took a long time, but I'm so grateful and so glad that I kept it going, kept trying, because now I have worked with over 25 different countries, paid classes, people that needed help, people that needed confidence, people that needed me to train them to take the job interview in English. And that's an amazing feeling, because like energies are finding me, like people are finding me. They're finding peace within English and getting confidence. And that is amazing. And now, not only am I teaching English, but I'm also teaching personal development, how to keep your goals going or set goals, because some people have had goals over their lives, during their lives, and have forgotten them. And that's sad, because our life has purpose. And my life, I had an aha moment one day going, aha, this is my purpose. Helping people, not teachers. Well, and teachers too, because some teachers want to practice so they can speak better with their students and have more fluency. But that aha moment, I realized I am doing my life's dream, my life's service. This is what I was meant to do in my life. And it's a beautiful feeling. And I get goosebumps all over myself when I think of that. And I'm so grateful. So my new project is working with a colleague and helping women live out their goals, live out their dreams. And the new platform is called Dream Big in English, because a woman forgets who she is when she has a family. Everything is dedicated to their children, their husband, their boyfriend, their families, and then she comes next. And this is so sad, because you can manage your time and not feel alone. And all of this has come from what I have observed in my own life, and also in the people, basically the women that I've spoken to, when they say, I'm just a housewife. And it breaks my heart, because I'm like, honey, you're not just a housewife, you're the CEO of your entire household. So this new project is so exciting, because my colleague and I are helping women find their goals again, realizing who they are and what they left behind in their earlier lives before families. And that is an amazing story that I can probably tell you in a short amount of time in the future, because it's still growing. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care.